We talked to you. How long has it been since we had you in?
It's been a few months.
Yeah, it's like 4 months.
Yeah. It was, we're probably at the early spring sometime, I think.
It was right as we were getting going with our
opening act.
One of the first artists that we played. I think it was one of the first artists that we did play on our opening act. Now, opening act is for local Indiana artists, the DJ Millers, the Jason Sturgeons, and the Corey Coxes of the world, and anyone that can submit music. And what we do is we put it up online. You can check it out at WKOA.com, and then we also feature every Saturday morning. I think you've been on there 3 or 4 times on our opening act. You're welcome. The check can be just left right there.
I'll leave it before I go.
That's perfect. Good. Now, you've had some big doings. I mean, we got record labels emailing us now, and so what has happened between then, when we talked to you, I believe it was like February, and now, what the heck's going on with Corey Cox?
You know, I've been going back and forth to Nashville quite a bit. It's only about a 4.5 hour drive, so it's not too bad. But I was fortunate enough to get hooked up with some cool contacts down there, and I've been going down there and writing with all kinds of awesome songwriters. Songwriters that you don't really ordinarily just get to write with if you're, Joe Schmo. And I've been very fortunate, with those connections we've made. And I would say it was probably about 2 or 3 months ago, I got an email that there's a new publishing company in Nashville called Better Angels.
Okay.
And they were I think they were a couple years old, and they had 7 writers on staff, I believe. Notable one being Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
We like Josh Thompson.
Yeah, and he's huge right now, and he's such a great songwriter. But so we're like, okay, well, let's take a look at this and, see what the opportunities may come. And so, I met with them, and we started talking about some negotiations and, what we could do. And I got a call then about a month ago. I was mowing yards, my second job.
Is it really?
Yeah, I do it part-time. Just
awesome.
Every now and then.
He's getting his story, like Trace Atkins did. You got to have a background. You got a story. You got to work.
I bet that's a great time to write music, though.
How many songs have you written about mowing grass?
Not one yet, and I don't know why.
It'll come when it's supposed
the blades
to.
don't stop or something.
Annie wants to co-write on that song.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was mowing yards, and I got a call, and they put the offer on the table that they wanted to sign me to a publishing deal.
So you have a publishing deal now, and so that means all your music. Now, do they produce it for you too, or is it just a publishing deal?
The cool thing about Better Angels is they're so new, and they're kind of on the cutting edge side of the business in Nashville. They've hired all young writers. David Adam Burns, they just signed to a record deal as well. And they just released a single, which I think it debuted at 73 on the Music Row charts this week.
Sweet.
So does this work in a way where they say, okay, you're going in this room for this long, and you're going to be creative?
And see, here's the coolest thing about Better Angels. A lot of publishing companies are like that. They're very strict on who you write with, what you have to write. And Rob Rappaport is the president of Better Angels. And he is pretty much made it clear since the day I met him that it's all about the song. He doesn't care who you write with. He doesn't care when you write. It doesn't matter to him. It's all about the song. As long as you get a good song, he doesn't care. And that's what's so cool, because I've talked to a couple other guys that have publishing deals with other companies down in Nashville, and it's just they're very strict on when they can write and who they can write with. And it's not really like that. And the cool thing is, though, it's such a good family there. I think that, like I said, I think there's 7 or 8 writers on staff. Josh Thompson being the most notable. Then you have David Burns, and then Jay Brunswick, who has 2 cuts on Josh's record.
Oh, wow.
And then there's Jason White, who wrote a song called Red Rag Top that was recorded by Tim McGraw.
Heard of that one.
You guys may know.
Yeah, we may have played that 5 gazillion times on this station.
We're still playing it now.
Yeah, so, and then there's a bunch of other writers that have just been signed in the past couple years. And they're starting to turn some heads down there. I've been fortunate enough to to go out and talk to everybody, and I'm pretty tight with the Toby Keith crowd. My manager's good friends with them, and I talked to all those guys, and they said, they're kind of the new thing in Nashville. Everybody's turning their heads and seeing what's going on, and they're kind of.
And you get to be part of it.
And I do, and that's where you throw me in there, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? But it is one of the coolest experiences I've.
You're making your little connections, and that's good.
You'll be the first country hit song about mowing grass. So
absolutely.